greatly for being there when I needed him most. I love you, Dad.
Hi, I'm Chelsea McKinney, and I dedicate my poem to Mr. Carlo. Wait, I will never be good enough. I'll never be like those people. Those are words Mr. Carlo said to himself every day after day after day. He was like a shadow, never wanted to be noticed. He was bullied every second just because his shape wasn't like theirs, just because he couldn't fit in with the rest. Misled, miserable, mistakes, coming home crying every day, tears slowly running down his eyes, telling himself that it would all be okay. Suicidal thoughts rushing through his mind. No one wants to be in the position that he was in. Wanting to hurt themselves just because people, good enough. Is that what everybody wants to be? Just good enough? We're all damaged in our own ways. Nobody's perfect, says Johnny Depp. He prayed night after night after night for someone, something to help him. But he had to beat around the bush. Then bam, soon he became a rainbow, making everyone smile. Sense of humor, adapted, strong social support system helped him become the guy that he is today. And soon enough, everyone didn't judge him for what he looked like. Thank you, Mr. Carlo, for inspiring me to be myself. And that soon, everybody will accept everyone.
Hello, my name is Peyton Montgomery, and this poem is dedicated to my father. Boot camp. It's what many military members go through, including Daniel Montgomery, who is my father. It was difficult for an 18 turning 19-year-old in 1978. Loneliness and depression swarmed him all the time. He felt so small, like a kitten in a crowded room. He felt unworthy, but that isn't true. 13 weeks of arduous physical and mental training known to mankind weighed him down. He was a lost dog, homesick and scared. It was almost like time was frozen. There was a million years between every tick-tock of the clock. Every day felt like torture. Ray Lewis once said, no matter the circumstances that may be going through, just push through it. But as slow as time was, he did get through it. Drill instructors heavied him with pressure, but he saw that as pushing you on. Letters from home made misery melt from his mind. After a while, he decided to bend over backwards and have some self-confidence. His faith for God walked right next to him during his journey. He never complained about the torment. He was a survivor. He never focused on his goals to go home and never let go of his purpose. He never gave up and had many dreams of happiness after. After 10 years, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, this event that lasted 13 weeks, only a chip in his shoulder now and then. He has a smile on his face when he thinks about his own family at home, and always thinks about the ones that aren't here with us anymore. We are glad that you're finally at home where you did to be 4 decades ago. Thank you, Dad, for doing this for all of us. Boot camp is a more difficult adversity than some may think, but it can get better as long as you don't give up.
Hi, my name is Carmen Riz, and I dedicate this poem to my Mimi. Faith, morals, and strong social support system. All of these my Mimi had. Being shipped off to an orphanage at 2 years old because her mother couldn't afford to take care of her when her father went off to war. She was lonely, yes, but she didn't let that get to her, and she knew she wouldn't be at that orphanage forever. Tick-tock. 4 years old. At 4 years old, her mom received a letter from the government saying that her father was missing, was presumed to be dead. She told my Mimi what happened. She was very sad. But she kept in mind to keep your head in the sunshine so you cannot see a shadow, said Helen Keller. Her friends helped Mimi get over the loss of her father. Her adversities were like a roller coaster, but she was lucky because most of the girls in that same orphanage had no one. She had a marvelous, magnificent mother. 1 year passed, the war was over. But there was another letter. He was alive. The news to find out Mimi's father was alive was the best news ever. The sun shone on her like it was 2 feet away. But he was trapped in a prisoner of war camp for more than a year, and he was very sick. Seeing her father in what felt like a million years was the best day of her life. Then there's no more orphanage, only a loving family. Dolly Vinton, thank you for inspiring me to let me know anything is possible, even when things get rough. I love you and thank you.
Hi, I'm Eli Stein. I dedicate this poem to Mr. Kosei. Daniel Kosei, sense of humor, optimism, and strong social support system held him up through his father's death. Springfield is where his father died when Mr. Kosei was 23 years old. He passed from kidney failure. My teacher was a senior in college and was about to graduate. Working took his mind off things. Staying busy kept him from being overwhelmed. The anger surrounded him. Losing his dad, his heart shattering into a million pieces, made him feel mad because he wasn't around. As Abraham Lincoln once said, "To remain as I am is impossible. I must die or be better." His dad was a biologist, and Mr. Kosei wanted to make his dad proud. He followed his father's footsteps and taught science. He became a great man. He became a genius like Einstein, as funny as Kevin Hart. Zach, my mind was like a light bulb being turned on. Mr. Kosei, you have inspired me to be resilient and accept the fact that things happen in life. Thank you, Mr. Kosei.
How's it going, everybody? My name is TJ, and I dedicate this poem to my mom. Purpose, initiative, problem solver. Those three attributes describe my mom, Emily Hagar. When you lose the man you love, it's as if your soul took a wrong turn at the stoplight. That's exactly how it was for my mom when she lost my dad. And it was the exact same as getting hit with a baseball bat. Whack, hurtful, and surprising. My mom chased her life purpose by moving to Branson, leaving everything she loved behind for a better life. And as Albert Einstein always said, life is like riding a bike. You may lose your balance, but keep going. My mom is one of the smartest people I know. It was as if her middle name was an A. You knew she was going to succeed whenever something was wrong. And that is exactly what she did. It didn't matter if she even had to move 1,000,000 miles away from her family, but she did it for herself, for me, and for my siblings. And that is how she took initiative. My mom had many bumps in the road, but she was able to kick adversity across the football field, which made her a problem solver. She shouldn't have separated me and my siblings, but I loved her more in the end for it. Thank you so much, Mom, for what you have done for me. I couldn't even understand what you went through, but your bad past gave me and my siblings and our family a better future.
Hi, I'm Cassie Villanueva, and I dedicate this poem to Mr. Carlo. Worthless. Am I good enough? Coming home crying and feeling blue day after day after day. Only having his parents to support him? Well, that's how Mr. Carlo felt. He was a target always being shot at. His life was like a pencil. Sometimes he was sharp and snap. Other days he was broken. Just stop and think how you make people feel. He hoped every day that the bullying would end and the name calling would stop. He was in middle school and already having suicide thoughts. He felt like he was far from feeling funny. He wished he could have a happy life and could be like everybody else. He prayed every day, every night, before dinner, day after day after day. Hours and hours of praying each day, hoping that his life could be like everybody else. As Ahad K. once said, life is like an elevator. On your way up, sometimes you have to stop and let people off. Sense of humor, adapted, strong social system helped him become the wonderful guy he is today. Mr. Carlo, thank you for inspiring me in so many ways.
Hello, my name is Theo Wesley, and I dedicate this poem to Mr. Butler. Poverty. It's what Tim Butler grew up in, living in a small house that had no electricity and no running water. With a smell from a lack of running water and no way to clean his clothes, he struggled with finding friends. And finding ways to get in trouble, he was as raw as an apple left out in the heat all week. No electricity, no running water, no food. Life was hard. Then he met the woman who would become his wife. He decided that he would become more successful. He began to notice that people who were successful worked hard in school. That became Mr. Butler's goal, become more educated. Colin Powell once said, "A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work." So with faith, determination, hard work, and personal responsibility, he worked hard and studied hard. He started to become more positive and started to buckle down and study more. Thank you for inspiring me to think more about my learning and get through school with more thought. You are a great assistant principal. Thank you.
That was so good. Could you start it from the beginning again?
Yeah, do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
One more time. The first one was really good. Or you do it again.
My name is Theo Wesley, and I dedicate this poem to Mr. Butler. Poverty. It's what Tim Butler grew up in, living in a small house that had no electricity and running water. With a smell from a lack of running water and no way to clean his clothes, he struggled with finding friends. Finding ways to get in trouble, he was as rotten as an apple left out in the heat all week. Mr. Butler behaved badly. No electricity, no running water, no food. Life was hard. Then he met the woman who would become his wife. He decided that he would become successful. He began to notice that people who were successful worked hard in school. That became Mr. Butler's goal, become educated. Colin Powell once said, "A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work." So with faith, determination, personal responsibility, and a strong social support system, he worked and studied hard. He started to become more positive and started to study more. Thank you for inspiring me to think more about my learning and get through school with more thought. You are a great assistant principal. Thank you.
I appreciate that, buddy. Good job.
Thanks for being willing, Theo, to do that twice. All right, fifth hour. So now you can just inhale and just breathe out. You survived, right? So that look of terror you had a couple weeks ago when I told you what you would be doing, was it as awful as you thought? Some are like, yeah. Well, you know what? You guys were resilient. You faced a challenge. You didn't give up and not show up today at school. You're here. You did it. You overcame. So give yourself a pat on the back.